In Arizona, cities there are experiencing an increase in human smuggling, kidnappings, and violent crime. My guest is leading a new campaign against human smugglers and drug traffickers in his state. Joining me now is Arizona's Attorney General, Terry Goddard. Mr. Attorney General, good to have you with us.
Good evening. Pleasure to be here.
We have heard variously from the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Janet Napolitano, from Eric Holder, the U.S. Attorney General, that the problem apparently in Mexico is that the Second Amendment of our Constitution is somehow an inconvenience for the government of Mexico. Is that, I mean, I can't even believe two national officials would talk like that when we have basically a war raging just south of your state.
Well, there is a war raging in Mexico, and a lot of the arms that are being used by the drug cartels in that war come from sources in the United States. 90% of the weapons that have been traced from Mexico are found to come from the U.S. But
I'm sorry, who, you know, just out of curiosity, because what I'd like to know about that is the DEA, the Justice Department, say that the Mexican government will not give them the serial numbers for the weapons that are under discussion. And that number, 90%, we've heard, but the facts are we haven't been given the serial numbers for the weapons.
Well, actually, the E-Trace program that's run by Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms has been chasing down some weapons that were found at crime scenes. We're involved right now in Arizona in a prosecution against a individual arms dealer who was selling to straw buyers. That's a contravention of federal law. And what the Mexican authorities have asked us to do, and we're taking very seriously, is to try to make sure that those illegal sales don't continue, or that we do everything we can to stop them.
And the weapons that were sold by this, allegedly by the dealer there in Arizona, they were what? What brand, what type of weapon? Mostly
AK-47s, over 500 in the last year. I can't go into detail because this is a case that actually started trial today.
Okay. So as we look at this and we hear that the Second Amendment then is somehow a problem, the AK-47, these were fully automatic weapons?
I'm sure they weren't when they were sold. How they're being used in Mexico, frankly, I can't tell you. I believe they are used as automatic weapons. And but the bottom line is the straw buyer. This is not a Second Amendment issue, Mr. Dobbs. This is a question of following the existing arms laws in the United States.
Yeah, I would think that that would be the case, and this is a federal prosecution.
No, it's a state prosecution. I know that's confusing.
It is.
The investigation was done by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, but Arizona prosecutors are taking it to court. And
I guess I have to ask this question. Why in the world isn't it a federal prosecution, and why isn't the ATF then the relevant agency?
Well, I'm not the best person to ask. We were delighted to be able to take this case because we've been for years investigating human smuggling and the money transfers that are part and parcel of facilitating human smuggling. And so this is the other half, I believe, of some of the same criminal enterprises. So it's something that we were anxious to get involved in.
Here's where I get confused, so if you would help me out. The United States government, the federal government's responsible for securing the border. If they were doing their jobs, there would be no human smuggling. If the federal government were securing the border between Mexico, let's say, and Arizona, there'd be no arms traffic. So this could save you a lot of trouble, and you could start, as the Attorney General of the state of Arizona, could focus on the fact that Phoenix has now become the kidnapping capital of the United States, and the United States government could secure the public safety here by stopping both arms trafficking and human smuggling. And, by the way, the fact that Mexico remains the principal source of methamphetamines, marijuana, cocaine, and heroin into the United States. Help me out.
Well, you've thrown a lot of curveballs at me here.
I'm sorry.
First and foremost, I would say that our U.S. Attorney in Arizona has the highest caseload in the United States for a similar office, and they're doing mostly immigration cases.
Surely.
That's one of the reasons that Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco came to us, because there wasn't extra prosecution capacity. But as I said, this is something we've been working on for a long time in Arizona, and I'd be delighted to work more on the kidnappings that you refer to. We're in serious trouble there because some of the drop house related crimes are something that is causing a great deal of concern in our state.
And there were demonstrations against Sheriff of